in the soundboard. Everybody's heard about cracks in the soundboard? Basically, cracks in the soundboard are irrelevant. Everybody's been told it's a piece of junk if it's got a crack in the soundboard. That's not always necessarily true. A crack in the soundboard is actually, the soundboard is many boards that are glued together. Where you see a crack in the soundboard is a glue joint that has become separated because of the shrinking of the wood. In this piano, we've got a little crack right here. It's very, very minute. There's no separation there. Down here there's also another little crack. And down here there's another little crack. And you can see a crack over here. But we got a problem on this crack right here. We're going to come over like this so you can see. You can feel there's a little difference in the way that soundboard is not lined up flush with itself. So that's telling me right there that there's a separation from the rib, which is right here, and the soundboard. These ribs are glued to the soundboard. That's what gives you the arch or the tone of the piano. In feeling this here, I'm going to take my fingernail. I'm going to slide it up in here, and I can feel that I can get my fingernail between the rib and the soundboard. Now this is unacceptable. When there's a separation like that from the ribs, the piano will buzz. It's not acceptable at all, so you don't want to buy the piano. Okay, now we're going to go, push it back against the door. Then we're going to go into a grand, a new building for a guy. And we will show you the bridges a little bit better. This is all open and exposed. This is the tenor bridge. This is the bass bridge. This piano has already had the soundboard repaired. You can see here there was a crack here, there was a crack here, there was a crack here. What we've done on this one is we jacked up the underneath side of the piano on the soundboard. We cut a groove in there with a wedge cutter and put a thin strip of spruce in there. There's a V-wedge. Glued it in, and then we let the pressure off the soundboard so it puts the arch back in the soundboard. Down bearing is very important on a piano, especially a grand. Very seldom you have a problem down bearing on an upright, but on a grand you do. The point from the back of the plate to the front of the plate, they are lower than your bridges. This is what gives you what's called down bearing. Down bearing is how hard the strings are pushing down on these bridges, which gives the boom of the piano. So, if you've got a real duddy sounding grand that you're looking at buying, you may have to, at the worst scenario, put in a new soundboard. Usually, by doing this process I just talked about shimming it, usually you're better off doing it that way to get your crown and everything back. So, the next thing you need to understand is on a grand piano, horizontal grand, the hammers come from the bottom and go up. Gravity helps everything on a horizontal grand because the weight of gravity pulls the hammers back down, whereas on the upright, you have to use springs to force the hammers to come back. So that's why a lot of times a grand is actually a better piano if you're a professional pianist. Because the repetition is fast, you can play quicker music. Okay? When you're inspecting a grand, you need to push the keys down, one or two of them, or a series of them over 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Hold it down and just push it lightly. It will bring the hammer up to the strings. At that point you can look in there and see if there's any grooves in the hammer. If there's real deep grooves in the hammer, it's going to mean you're going to have to replace the hammers, or you're going to at least have a technician shape and voice the hammers so that you get good tone. So, anyway, I pretty much concluded the important things to you that's going to make you not buy a piece of junk. I will be doing a lot of YouTubes for you. I will be doing a lot of blogs, informing you all the little tips that I can show you for free. So we will go ahead. You can click on my website, www.vintagepianos.net, or it's vintagepiano.net, I'm sorry. And I have this on my website. All of this information and anything you need to know will be right there. So I thank you very much. Dr. Ron signing out.